The development and advancement of Palestra, all distinguished guests, senores, it's such a pleasure to be here again in Timor-Leste. My speech says to me it's the second time since I've been here in the year since I became Foreign Minister, but it is my tercera time here because I came here before we won government. It's a great honour to have met Prime Minister Guzman and Minister Freitas so soon after the formation of the new government. And I begin by congratulating Prime Minister Guzman, affectionately known as Mambo, on the election result, and congratulating all those elected or who ran as candidates. And I extend also my congratulations to all ministers who were sworn into their positions just a few days ago. It is an enormous privilege and a weighty responsibility to be chosen to lead by one's people. And your people turned out in record numbers to exercise their democratic right. And the Australian Government looks forward to working closely with you in the years ahead to support your priorities. I welcome the sentiments and aspirations expressed by Prime Minister Guzman in his inauguration speech this week, when he spoke of greater trust and mutual respect in our bilateral ties. Like the Prime Minister, we too want to move beyond past differences. We want to work alongside Timor-Leste to achieve your new government's vision of a prosperous, healthy, educated, skilled, innovative and dynamic society. Australia and Timor-Leste are the closest of partners. Of course, we are neighbours. That means we have issues to manage, and being neighbours means we have an interest in managing them. Timor's success matters to Australia, and I believe Australia's success matters to Timor. Our success matters to each other because we share a region and we share a future. We share an interest in both of our countries being prosperous and peaceful. Just as important as these interests is our friendship. It's because fortune may have chosen for us to be neighbours, but we choose for us to be friends. There has always been a deep reservoir of respect, friendship and solidarity between the Timorese people and Australia. And this friendship means Australians want your nation to continue to flourish and to reach its full potential. As you know, often the strongest friendships are those forged in the greatest trials. Together we fought the battle for survival in the Second World War, when Timorese worked alongside nearly every Australian soldier, helping navigate, gathering intelligence, carrying the wounded, securing food supplies. As one Corporal Jeremiah Hare recorded in his diary, sharing common food and clothes. Around 50,000 of your people died in battle, an immeasurable loss and sacrifice we will never forget. When you took the courageous step of voting for independence in 1999 and asked the international community for help to secure your nation, Australia answered. And more than half of the 11,000 personnel in the international force in East Timor, or Interfed, were Australian. The single largest deployment of Australian Defence Force personnel since the Second World War. The commander of Interfed, General Peter Cosgrove, said that with this support, Australia had fulfilled the promise made by their spiritual grandfathers at the end of World War II. In 2006, when Timor-Leste asked for military and policing help to re-establish and maintain public order, Australia was honoured to lead these efforts as a friend and as a neighbour. In 2008, following the coordinated violent attacks on President Ramaphosa and Prime Minister Guzman, we stood resolutely behind Timor-Leste and responded to your request for more peacekeeping troops and police to stabilise a dangerous situation. We were there in 1999, in 2006, and in 2008 because it was the right thing to do, and because of our belief in a free and prosperous Timor-Leste taking your rightful place in the world and in the region. Indeed, following your independence, Australia quickly became your largest development and security partner. And the depth of that partnership continues to this day, with Australia providing an estimated $118 million in development assistance this year, putting you in our top 5 development partners. And we will continue to work with you to support your ambitions and respond to your priorities. Our cooperation extends across a wide range of sectors, including security, health, agriculture, human development, and economic resilience. And we are expanding our cooperation on major infrastructure projects, including the redevelopment of Dili International Airport and the Timor-Leste South Submarine Cable. We're expanding access to Australia for Timorese workers under the Pacific Australia Labour Mobility Scheme. Some 4,680 workers are currently in Australia employed across rural and regional areas, remitting $37.5 million each year to their families. But aside from remittances, we are expanding opportunities for these workers to gain valuable skills, and we are improving workers' rights and conditions. When I was here last year, one of the messages I received, including from the President, was that he wanted further support to develop education and skills for young people. So as part of that, we will support an additional 35 Timorese to complete formal qualifications in aged care, helping to build critical skills for your people and bolstering your economic resilience. And I'm pleased today to announce further support for skills and education, including a doubling of our Australia Awards scholarships from 10 to 20 places and the creation of 18 places in our Australia Awards Fellowship Program to help build capability for disaster response and biosecurity, and new scholarships for Timorese to attend the Australia Pacific Training Coalition in Sydney. We will continue to work with you to find opportunities for you. We recognise that your path is independence, your path to sovereignty. It has been long and it has been hard. You rightly seek to make your own choices without having them encouraged by others. Timorese have struggled through colonisation and occupation to achieve what we all seek, a place in the world and the ability to decide our own future. The white star on your flag, representing peace and having overcome so much. Since independence, you have proudly taken your place in the region, a champion of human rights, a vibrant democracy, emerging successfully from conflict that is assisting other post-conflict countries, including through the G7 Plus organisation of conflict-affected countries. It has always been true that for small and medium countries, our sovereignty has been enhanced by our support for rules and norms that protect us all, and that our sovereignty has been enhanced by our engagement in multilateral policy. That is why we have been so committed to supporting Timor-Leste's participation in regional and multilateral organisations, including in your bids to join ASEAN and the World Trade Organisation. Australia was ASEAN's first dialogue partner and has since become one of the first comprehensive strategic partners. And from this position, we have been among your strongest supporters for ASEAN membership. So we warmly welcome ASEAN's in-principle decision to admit Timor-Leste as the 11th member of ASEAN and formal admission as an observer. You see, we see that ASEAN matters to Timor-Leste because ASEAN is at the core of shaping the future of this changing region. It is the core of regional peace and stability. And Timor-Leste's membership of ASEAN will reinforce that centrality. We have heard Prime Minister Guzman's reflections that you have more work to do to ensure you can meet the stringent technical requirements for ASEAN accession. So I want to assure you we are committed to supporting you to build your capacity, including in the areas of biosecurity and statistics agencies, a key step to meeting ASEAN's accession requirements. So today I announce we are increasing our package of support for Timor's accession to ASEAN and the WTO by a further $2 million, bringing the total to $8.6 million. But Australia's support for your sovereignty goes beyond our support in international organisations. And we understand that for you to maintain your sovereignty, you need to be economically resilient. Key in that ambition will be the sovereign choices Timor-Leste makes now. Australia will keep striving to be the best possible partner, a partner who will stand by you today and tomorrow and throughout your future. A partner who shares Prime Minister Guzman's belief in the Timorese people's fundamental right to decide their own future. Fundamental right to decide your own future. We're a partner who wants you to have your own powerful voice, that won't ask you to toe the line. That means listening carefully to your interests and your priorities. That means being a partner who will support the sustainable growth of your economy and deliver the greatest wealth and security for your people, and avoiding the risks of unsustainable lending that have hobbled other countries. This is why Australia is so deeply committed to working with Timor-Leste to realise the development of Greater Sunrise. But before I talk about the future of Greater Sunrise, I want to acknowledge some of the past. There have been past instances in which Australian governments have acted in ways that the Timorese people and many Australians found disappointing. Timor-Leste was right to initiate compulsory conciliation, as you were entitled to do under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The Australian government should not have formally challenged the competence of the Conciliation Commission, when a broader, more understanding approach was needed that reflected the unique relationship we had with such a close neighbour. It was not in the spirit of our friendship, from our struggle together in World War II, to our support for your young nation after independence. Labor recognised this problem in 2016, when, from opposition, we pledged to reopen good faith negotiations with Timor-Leste on our maritime boundary. Our then Shadow Foreign Minister, Tanya Plibersek, said at the time, "The maritime boundary dispute has poisoned relations with our nearest neighbours. This must change for their sake and ours." After the challenge failed, Australia's then government, with Labor support, embraced the conciliation process, reinvigorating Australia's good faith approach in a way that better reflected the spirit of our friendship. And this became the first compulsory conciliation ever initiated under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. And its success is a model for how countries in similar maritime disputes can work to resolve them. It was a powerful signal globally, a powerful signal of respect for the rules-based order at a time when those rules are being challenged. And the result was that in March 2018 we signed the Maritime Boundary Treaty, delimiting permanent boundaries and setting out a special regime for Greater Sunrise. This treaty was an historic reset in our bilateral relationship, a chance for new beginnings. It finally agreed permanent maritime boundaries, long sought after Timor-Leste, on a basis that is fair and equitable and consistent with international law. Australia looked at this issue too narrowly and without considering the importance of this issue in the context of your path to sovereignty. The government I represent has a deep appreciation just how much your economic resilience is key to your sovereignty. We recognise that Greater Sunrise is an unfinished business. Australia has only one ambition for Greater Sunrise: to see the field developed as soon as feasibly possible to support business development. Prime Minister Bushman was right to say that Greater Sunrise needs to be a feasible and economically sound solution that creates a petroleum industry that can yield direct economic dividends for your people. Well, there is a new government in Timor-Leste and a new, relatively new Australian government. And there is a genuine, good faith commitment to developing Greater Sunrise. That's why our Prime Minister appointed Steve Bracks, as you know, a long-time friend and supporter of your nation, to be the Australian Government's Special Representative for Greater Sunrise. I'm so pleased that Steve is with me today. We have been listening carefully to understand your ambitions for Greater Sunrise, and I can assure you that your commitment to onshore processing and to the South Coast Tasimane project is clearly understood. Timor-Leste is the majority shareholder in the joint venture, alongside Woodside and Asahi Gas. Technology is evolving and the joint venture is looking afresh at the options. That is why its study into the options for Greater Sunrise should go ahead as soon as possible. Our support for Timor's economic resilience is why we also support your ambitions to convert Bayouna. It has been such a major contributor to your economy for over 16 years, and we want to work with you to transition it into a commercial carbon capture and storage project. We have recently introduced a bill into our Parliament to give effect to amendments to the London Protocol, allowing us to meet our international carbon obligations and to facilitate commercial consideration by your government. We will continue working with you on these and other projects in support of your resilience and your sovereignty. I believe that we are embarking on a new phase in our journey together. We are both dynamic nations in one of the economically fastest growing regions of the world. We share strong civil societies backed by the close links between our communities. There are some 10,000 Timorese living in Australia today, and so many Australians have spent time in Timor-Leste and continue to feel the great kinship with and of your people. Our ties span local government, universities and schools, churches, NGOs and community groups, and of course our veterans. Many of these links go back decades and endured while governments were in serious dispute over our maritime boundaries. Our Australian Labor government seeks to move beyond past divergences, to work with you to shape the future we share. Wherever the future may take our two countries, whatever challenges we may face, I want our friends in Timor-Leste to know that we in Australia will always be with you, through thick and thin, in good times and in bad. Because our friendship is deep and it is broad. It has stood the test of time since the days of independence, and it is the foundation on which we can build our futures together. Thank you, and obrigado away.
Great to see you.